It's one thing to state to the world, to the universe, to yourself, your deepest desires and what kind of money and you want to call in and how you want to call in that money. And that's all beautiful. That's all grand. That's all part of it. That's all great. But if you don't do this other crucial part, by being able to detach from the timing, detach from the how, to trust that it's happening, to stay in the surrender, it will not manifest or it'll take you decades longer. And I know because I've lived it. I've coached many people who come to me now that have been in that state. And part two of Money Manifesting Secrets of the Rich is abundance psychology. So I'm going to teach you in this groundbreaking episode the powerful intersection of mindset and wealth that is going to refine and speed up your money manifestations as long as you stick with me on it. Because we've got to master that art of surrender, that art of trust when it comes to your own prosperity for it to be able to have a pathway to be allowed into your existence. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your relationships, your abundance, and everything in between. So, this part two of this series, and you have to let me know if you're loving it because I will create other parts. I just wanted to start with the two most impactful parts so you can put these things into practice immediately and start seeing results. Because once we start seeing evidence that this stuff works, this law of attraction, this manifestation stuff actually works, then you get more motivated and energized into prioritizing it more. But there's a catch here because let's use the obvious analogy of weight loss. So I deprioritized my health for a little while there. Okay. I went off the rails. I hurt my knee, yada, yada. And on July 5th, like I recommitted and got back into it and took the actions that were in alignment with what outcome I wanted, what I wanted to manifest, which was feeling light, flexible, lean, and energized. And I put in, let's say at like the 40 to 45 day mark, I remember saying to a friend of mine, it's amazing if I did not heavily practice and been a long time student and practitioner of law of attraction work, I would have already been like, fuck this isn't working. I did not see any difference. I felt a little different. I felt proud of myself for recommitting because that's very honoring. That's true self care, right? Following through with what I said I was going to do. That always is a good vibe. I didn't see any difference in how I looked. I didn't see any difference in how my clothes felt. And it wasn't that like who my coach is isn't doing a good job. I just hadn't seen it yet. I hadn't seen the evidence yet. This is when most people quit of anything, of your business, of money, of pursuing some other goal, because you want the instant gratification. You want the cookie. You want to see the treat in exchange for the effort, and you want to see it quick, and you want to see it on your time. Now, what does that sound like when I'm even saying it? It sounds like a bratty, entitled child, and that's where it's really coming from. Well, where is it? I want it now. Give it to me now. Now, 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 now. I want it. I put in the work. Where's the cookie? Where's the candy? Where's the reward? Where's the thing? Wow. Well, it doesn't work that way. And that's when the ego is driving the car. That's a big red flag that's happening. And I'm not saying you don't have your Polly Pissy Pants moment, as I call it. I have my Polly Pissy Pants moments every time I have a launch with my brand new first ever guided workbook course coming out, which I'm going to continue to plug it. Okay. Because this is going to be some fucking life changing shit. Make more and work less. I'm so fucking terrified, though. Just saying. I'm terrified. Like, you have to do it because I'm terrified. I guarantee you, I know what will happen. I'm going to have to really practice what I'm going to be teaching you today and the patience and detached persistence. Because if I don't, I will sabotage all of it. I've sabotaged my own launches. I have watched many clients who had me right by their side as a private coach, clients inside my Project Me Posse business coaching membership, clients in my mastermind, clients in my Selling with Soul program. I've watched people totally sabotage exactly what they wanted, even though I helped them create everything that is like an absolute plug and play. There's no way you can't make money. There's no way this won't work. It's impossible. This is it. This is it. This is it. But spiraled out when it came time to launch the thing, to do the thing. And then you're like, where are all the people? Where are my results? It's like when you post a video or a piece of content and you're like, refreshing, refreshing. I thought this was my best thing. I finally did it. Or then you're posting day after day after day and you're like following exactly what I teach you in the profitable content plan, which is something I teach inside the posse. By the way, this could be already sold out, but I did open up a handful more spots and they could be gone, and the page will tell you that. This is the last time I'm opening up new member spots this year. So you want in on that for $3.33 a day, live weekly coaching for me and other special guest experts designed to take you from zero to $15,000 a month consistently. You can be starting from scratch. You could already be a couple years in, but you're not making the money you want to make, or it feels so hard, or you're missing something. Something isn't working and you just want someone to shoot it to you straight and cut out all the noise and all the overwhelm and all the stuff. This is the space. And we also incorporate monthly. We do deliberate, strategic, intentional mindset work of managing the money noise in our brain and managing the insanity so that you don't do what I'm talking about right now in constantly seeking evidence. It's not working, but I put it out and no one is coming in and nothing's happening and the money isn't coming in. Tiffany, I'm doing all the things, but it's not working. And I spent hours and days and months putting together this course, this workbook, this e-commerce store, this program. And like, I only have 3 people are buying. And then what you go into that energy, now you have turned your station from the amazing satellite radio station of abundance to some janky ass broke down AM radio station with a lot of static. And then you're just going to create more static. And it's unrealistic to think you're not going to drop into that station at some point. Okay. Like I said, with this workbook course, the more vulnerable it feels for you to be doing something, the higher likelihood you're going to slip into the AM. Okay. So I went in, I could see myself going to the AM. I could feel that ego pull, like, I'm going to want to look, I'm going to want to contact my team. How many people bought it? I purposely, and you might need to do this shit. Okay. I do not have the passwords stored anywhere at my fingertips to where, and they're not like, you can like store passwords like in your phone where automatically populates for things that allow me to see the back end of my business, meaning me to see how many sales. Now, all my like bank accounts and all that shit, I can go see. So technically I could reverse engineer it, but I have too many streams of income or that would make it very difficult. I don't want to know. My team knows. Do not tell me. I don't want to know on this podcast. Jen, my producer, knows. Only tell me if something substantial is happening. And if something is substantially like not positive, I need to know that truly as a business owner. Hey, something really hasn't resonated with people for the last 2 weeks here. Like we need to make a shift or something like that. Like I need to know that. Okay. But wow, in a launch, because what do I want? It's the same thing you want. Validation. I'm doing the right thing. This is going to work. Validation, 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 validation. It feels so good. Why do you think that all these people are on fucking Ozempic? It's because there's 2 black box warnings on that thing now. Okay. And unless you like really freaking need it because you have diabetes, like this is actually dangerous. There's side effects that like you would not, if it was your daughter wanting to go on it, you probably wouldn't even put her on it unless, like really. And I don't know why I just said daughter. It could be a guy too. See how programmed we are, where it's like weight loss is like a woman thing, which isn't true. but it's just society's programming that just came out in me. And it's wanting that instant gratification versus the healthier, more mindful thing to do, which is longer and much more grueling. And so that 40 days in, 45 days in, I didn't see any difference in my body, but I chose to trust. I'm trusting that the universe operates on its own timeline. So I am looking at it to where the manifestation has to unfold naturally. I am choosing to trust that when this excess weight is supposed to fall off, when some noticeable shifts are going to occur, is happening at a divine timing for my greatest good, not for my ego's good, not for some short-term thing. It's happening when it's supposed to happen. And the detached persistence here is continuing to take the intentional action towards my goals, but detached from the outcome. Persistent positive steps without being attached to specific results. This detached persistence is a balance between effort and trust, effort and trust. And really working at that. And it is mental gymnastics. I'm not going to deny that, but it is absolutely worth it. You know how you hear people, if you've like listened to other shows or read books where like, well, act as if. Here's my take on acting as if. It's not about pretending or deceiving yourself. It's about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality in which you want to create. So by consistently embodying the energy of your desired outcome, you pave the way for the law of attraction to bring those desires to fruition for your life. You're allowing a pathway, you're clearing the space for it to be able to happen. That's simply what you're doing. So it's not just what you do, but it's how you think and feel while you're doing it that matters in the manifestation process. So if I'm taking the action and I'm going into my fitness coach and I'm lifting weights and I'm eating a kale salad or I'm going for a walk versus sitting and binging Netflix while eating cheese popcorn, and I'm taking those actions, that's wonderful. I'm taking intentional actions towards the thing I want. But if all I'm doing is thinking at that time, this isn't working, this is never going to work, God, this is going to take forever, this is grueling, this is painful, when is it going to be my turn? It's never going to be my turn. Maybe I'm never, I'm not destined to have the money. Maybe I'm not destined to change millions of people's lives. Maybe I'm not, I'm not this enough. I'm not that enough. I'm too much of this. I'm too this, da, da, da. You fill your mind with that, even though you're taking the actions, you just negated it. You put yourself, you're not even at a net neutral now. You've just shit on it and it's not going to work. So being able to continually detach. So how does that look like in real time and how to do it? Well, I just gave you some examples of the patience and detached persistence. I want you to, if you're starting to spin out, go do one of my abundance walks. Okay. And that link is right inside the show notes. It's in the description here on Project Me TV on YouTube, which you need to go over on the tube and see what's going up. People are really into watching the show because you can comment in real time as I'm talking to you, which is very helpful to a lot of people, especially those of you who are like neurodivergent. Letting go is really the art of detachment and trust. There's 3 principles in it. Okay. And I'm just going to go through them quickly because I don't want to overwhelm and overload your brain with information. And then you can let me know by leaving a 5-star Apple podcast review, by tapping the 5 stars on Spotify if you're listening to any, either of those channels, by taking a screenshot of the show and tagging me. You can always reply to any of our emails if you're on our Secret Posse Weekly Digest, which is a free email list where you get exclusive content delivered to your inbox every week, designed to consume in under 30 seconds and raise your vibration. And that's where you're also getting first dibs on my new workbook course. We're doing a limited run, so it will sell out. And that link is also in there, projectbewithtiffany.com/secret posse, along with my posse membership. And by the way, if you go to my posse membership page, it will tell you sold out on the top if there's no new memberships, and that might be the case, and you're just going to have to wait until there's new member spots. Okay, so the 3 core things in embracing detachment and trust. And embracing is a very big word. I need you to embrace it, not just believe it. Number one, letting go. People who are wealthy and abundant individuals understand the importance of this detachment thing. So set your intentions, visualize your goals, and then release your desires to the universe without clinging to them obsessively. That doesn't mean you don't want it any less. The universe knows you really want it. God knows you want it. You don't need to obsess and force and grind and push and chew and in order for the universe to know you want it. It knows you want it. You've already declared it. But if you grind on it and you push on it and you squeeze on it, you suffocate it and you take away the magic, you actually are saying to the universe, I don't fucking trust you. I'm trying to be a control freak on it. And I don't trust you're going to do your work, God. I don't trust you're going to do your work, universe. I don't trust you're going to do your work, angels. Well, would you want someone saying that to you? How would you react if someone was saying that to you? Letting go fosters a sense of ease and trust in the manifestation process. And when you carry yourself with a sense of ease and lightness and trust, you are really clearing any debris from that pathway. You make it a whole lot easier for abundance to flow to you. Faith and confidence. People who have mastered this have unwavering faith in the law of attraction and manifestation and trust that the universe is working in their favor. So their confidence in these universal laws amplifies their manifestation power, allowing them to attract that wealth effortlessly. So if you have some doubt still to work through within yourself, okay, this is a realistic approach. I'm not a pie in the sky fucking person when it comes to this stuff. Okay. I'm too jaded for that shit. Then I need you to trust. Maybe it's me. You're like, okay, like I believe this bitch. She's been through a lot of shit. Like maybe have trust in me. Maybe it's Wayne Dyer. Maybe it's Louise Hay. Maybe it's some of the like Jay Shetty, some these other practitioners that you're like, okay, I have trust in. Maybe it's the Bible, whatever. Okay. Channel your trust into that. Trust the law of attraction. This has been around for so long. There's so much scientific evidence. There's so much proof in it. At least trust in that if you're not able to fully trust in yourself. Trust in the process. Trust in that this works. Trust that it's a thing. Trust that it's a vibe. And the third thing is living in abundance. By cultivating an abundant mindset and trusting in the process, this creates a positive energy flow. So, this positive vibration acts as a magnet, drawing in financial opportunities, creative ideas, chance meetings, unexpected resources, new ways of going, oh my God, why didn't I think of that before? I could do it this way. My best ideas have come from this. How do you get yourself living in abundance, even if like you don't feel very abundant right now? There's always something that you can do. You focus in the abundance you do have to what is it that someone else looking at you would go, God, I wish I had that. Is it that you do have a beautiful home? Is it that you have an amazing relationship? Is that you have some incredible family members and support? Is that you have great health? Is it that you have beautiful skin? Is it that you are someone who's very well read? Is it that you're an intuitive? Is it that you are someone who always has a quest for learning? Look at the abundance that you do have, and we all have it. When I was making $17,000 a year, I still had abundance. In fact, I had the same amount of abundance as I do now as having millions in the bank, because our abundance isn't about the actual stuff that we have. The abundance is what we carry within us. It's who we are. We are inherently abundant. All the stuff that we get, the money, the houses, the cars, the travel, the trips, the notoriety, the views, the podcast fame, all that shit, those are just like the sprinkles and the hot fudge on the ice cream. I couldn't have attracted all those things if I wasn't an abundant being myself. It's like falling in love with who you are and what you have to offer and what gifts that you have already right now and really trusting in that. Because when we focus on that, it puts us in that energy of abundance because we already have abundance. We already have evidence right now, just as we are. And then we attract more in. And it does get to be this simple and it does get to be this easy. And continue to detach and trust you're not in charge. Your ego wants you to think you are. It's not possible. Just go out in nature. You didn't create any of that. I know I can be a Virgo control freak myself, especially when you've been raised in a dysfunctional environment. It's like we want to control so we can be safe, so we can be secure, so we can be certain. And it's an illusion because we're not in control and we have no idea what could happen and something can shift at any moment. Put the power in the hands and the results of something greater and grander than yourself and trust that you only need to control what you need to control and let go of the rest. Let God do the rest. Let the universe do its best. Stop getting in the way. You micromanage a kid in sports and dance and whatever. You get in the way of them being able to have the experience of doing it themselves, right? Like no one wants to be micromanaged. Stop micromanaging God. Stop micromanaging the universe and see the beautiful gifts that unfold. I love you so much. You've got this. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. I love you. Please go leave a written Apple podcast review of the show. Let me know what you think about the series. Go get on the Secret Posse Weekly Digest, and you can reply to any of our emails with anything that you want, and they do get passed on to me to read. I might not be able to reply to all of them, but just know your stories are being seen and heard, each and every one of them.